Everyone remembers the paint, the gold paint, the shine. We look at this photo and we see perfection. We see the moment football peaked. Real Madrid, 2002, the kings of Europe. It felt like the end of the game, didn't it? Like they had completed football. But look closer at the faces in the celebration. Look at the bench. We tell ourselves this was the beginning of a dynasty. That's the lie. That's the story we sold ourselves because we wanted it to be true. Because what actually started that night in Glasgow wasn't a dynasty. It was a suicide. We just didn't know it yet. If you were there, you remember the feeling. It didn't feel fair. It felt like playing FIFA with cheat codes. Every summer, a new god arrived. Luis Figo, the betrayal. Zinedine Zidane, the artist. Ronaldo, the phenomenon. And finally, David Beckham. It wasn't a football club anymore. It was the Beatles. It was Hollywood. Every match felt like an event. They didn't just beat teams, they humiliated them with style. Back heels, nutmegs, step-overs. The Bernabeu wasn't a stadium, it was a theater. And the script was perfect. Zidanes y Pavones. Superstars and academy kids. Balance. We watched and thought, who can stop this? They had the best players, the money, the aura. For about 18 months, it was paradise. We ignored the little things. We ignored the 5-3 wins, the 4-2 scorelines. We ignored that the goalkeeper was making 10 saves a game. Why worry about defense when you can just score more? Why worry about structure when you have magic? It felt inevitable. But then, the air changed. Not suddenly. It became heavy. Summer 2003, while fans bought Beckham shirts, something was leaving the building. Something crucial. But nobody looked at the back door. Everyone was watching the stage. The season starts. Yes, they're winning. But have you ever watched a team win and felt nervous? The wins felt heavy. The smiles were for cameras. But the eyes weren't. Ronaldo gaining weight. Beckham running more than defenders. Zidane bent over by the hour mark. The whispers started. They look tired. They look unbalanced. But this is Real Madrid. You don't complain when you're top. You don't question gods. March 2004. The treble is still alive. League, Cup, Champions League. But every game feels like a firefight. Every game, a heart attack. The white shirts started to look heavy. Not because they were bad, but because if this team loses, there is no excuse. The pressure wasn't coming from opponents. It was coming from the mirror. It happened slowly. They lose the cup final. A stumble. It's fine, we have the Champions League. They win the first leg 4-2. Done. Then they go to Monaco, and that's when the ghost enters the room. Fernando Morientes, a Madrid legend, loaned out because he wasn't pretty enough. He scores, and suddenly, the Giants look small. Legs turn to jelly. No space, no rhythm, no control. They lose 3-1, knocked out by their own player, by the one they discarded. This was the snap. Not just a loss, a system failure. They lose 5 league games in a row. 5. 4th place. The illusion didn't crack. it shattered. Now, rewind. We thought it was about Beckham, about image. But remember the exit. Claude Makelele. He asked for a raise. I do the running so they can dance. He was laughed at. Sold. At the time, we laughed too. Until Zidane said this. Why add gold paint when you're losing the engine? That was the truth. It wasn't fatigue. It was physics. Remove the engine, and the car stops. Morientes wasn't irony. It was justice. Football correcting arrogance. Image over balance. The Galácticos weren't about winning. They were about ego, an experiment. And the answer was no. Beauty without structure collapses. And maybe that's why, when Zidane became manager, the first thing he found was a new engine. Casemiro. He learned the lesson, even if we didn't.